Hello everyone, thank you for joining me today. This is Taliesin McKnight, and today's subject is the secret doctrine, the occult doctrine of the tarot. Is there a hidden occult secret contained within the deck of tarot cards? What is this secret doctrine? Today we will be delving into ancient mysteries. We will attempt to unveil the hidden occult secrets of the tarot. And we will also examine how the cards could be used for self-transformation. Tarot cards used to transform the personality, to bring certain powerful archetypal forces to the surface. Tarot is used for much more than fortune telling, and perhaps there is a deeper meaning in the cards. The word occult means hidden. It comes from the Latin word occultus, hidden. It's also tied to the Latin word oculi, which means eye. A hidden doctrine. The Western mystery tradition has its roots within the mystery temples of late antiquity. It has ties to the Hermetic doctrine of Alexandrian Egypt, which trickled down magical texts, alchemy, a hidden occult doctrine through the Middle Ages, which in the Renaissance was brought up in astrology, magic, the tarot. Today we still have this hidden secret doctrine. And some people believe that the symbolism of the tarot has hidden mysteries within it. Symbols speak at a deeper level of the psyche. Symbols convey things that could not be spoken in words. It speaks at a deeper level of the psyche. So let's take a moment to examine the tarot. A lot of times people talk about the Fool's Journey. You notice that there are 22 trumps of the major arcana, 22 cards, and yet the Fool card is often given the number 0. It's given 0. A lot of people talk about the Fool's Journey, that there is an initiatory process contained within the cards, and that each of these archetypal forces which the Fool meets has to do with a process of our own self-transformation. The first image that the Fool meets is the Magician. Now, the Magician card in the Rider-Waite deck, which is really popular, the Rider-Waite deck has a Magician. Before him is a pentacle, wand, dagger, and cup, and he holds a wand up and points down. Now, the Magician card has to do with the process of creation. A lot of times it's ascribed the Hebrew letter Beit. Now, the letter Beit is the number 2. Now, 2 represents duality and opposing forces. The letter Beit is ascribed to Hermes, the Greek god Hermes, or Mercury. Mercury is the reconciler of opposing forces, and Mercury or Hermes has the caduceus wand with 2 serpents twined about a staff. This is the reconciliation of opposing forces, and Mercury or Hermes was the messenger of the gods. Mercury was also an alchemical chemical that is in between a liquid and a solid. So you have Mercury. Now the Magician connects above and below, reaching upwards with his wand and pointing down. He is drawing energy from above and channeling that energy down. This has the old Hermetic axiom, as above, so below. Material things are reflections of higher divine forces. We have the macrocosm and microcosm. That the rising of the moon, the rising of the sun, the phases of the moon, even the path a salmon takes in a river are all glimpses into the mind of God. If material things are a reflection of higher forces, then we have above and below. Reaching from above and drawing energy down. In talismanic magic, you may charge an astrological talisman. And in magic, in an astrological talisman, you will gather the metals, stones, colors associated with a certain planet or zodiac sign. And this serves as a cup, a receptacle to higher astral forces. So that in talismanic magic and ceremonial magic, they will often make a talisman that represents Venus or a certain sign of the zodiac, and with the appropriate materials, it serves as a cup to call down an astrological force within it. And this is carried with you to have good luck, love, things like that. And that's what you often do in astrological magic or astral magic, which drawing down from above and channeling below. The Magician card often has the Hebrew letter Beit. Beit is the second letter of the Hebrew alphabet. It's also the first word within the Bible. Bereshit, in the beginning. Bereshit bara Elohim et hashamayim v'toretz. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. So the first letter in the Bible is the Hebrew letter Beit, in the beginning. And also the word for create in Hebrew is bara. So in the Qabalah, and oftentimes the 22 major arcana of the tarot are linked to the 22 Hebrew letters of the Hebrew alphabet, and that these also have Kabbalistic significance. Some people believe that, some people don't. But the Hebrew letter Beit has to do with creation. Bereshit, in the beginning, bara. So you do see that the Magician card channels from above, pushing down. So it would appear that behind this symbol is a deeper meaning. Why the Hebrew letter Beit? Mercury, the reconciler of opposing forces. What about the Chariot card? The Chariot card often shows a charioteer with a white horse and a black horse. This is often ascribed the Hebrew letter Chet. Chet is ascribed to Cancer, the crab, which is in a shell. So you see a similarity between the charioteer and the Hebrew letter Chet and the zodiac sign of Cancer. Now the white horse and the black horse. It's funny, it's strange if you think about it, that this is the exact image contained in Plato's chariot allegory of the soul. 2,500 years ago, Plato talked about the chariot allegory of the soul, the white horse representing reason, the reasoning principle, and the black horse representing our own passions. So we have to reconcile these forces. Now, Plato talked about the charioteer, how the chariot is to ascend to the realm of the gods, but since we can't control the black horse, it pulls us back down. Now, it's funny, it's ironic, or those are the wrong words. It's strange if you think about it, that this exact image, this cannot be debated. You cannot debate against this. It's a fact that the white and black horse and charioteer is the exact image that Plato gives in his chariot allegory of the soul. Go to Google, type in chariot allegory, and you will see, you'll pull up, that this image of this tarot card matches what Plato did. Is it a coincidence? Maybe. Who knows? You'll also notice that in the progression of the major arcana, you see a contrast between each successive card. For example, the Fool and the Magician. Those are kind of opposites, don't you think? A fool is someone that is foolish. The Fool. The next card in the deck is the Magician, who is a wise man. So you have the Fool versus the next card, which is the Magician. Folly and wisdom. Maybe that's just a coincidence. The next card is the High Priestess. A female High Priestess. So you have a Magician and a High Priestess. Now that seems odd that these two cards are in succession. So the Fool is opposed to a Magician, a foolish person and a wise man. Now the Magician is opposed to the High Priestess. Is it just coincidence that the order this goes in seems to contrast opposites? After the High Priestess, which is female spirituality, we have the Empress, the earthly mother. Again, a contrast, a female figure of spirituality versus fertility. Now, the Empress card represents fertility, birth. It is the mother. A lot of times, this is considered a fertility card. Sometimes it can mean that someone might get pregnant if it's associated with other fertility cards. Now, the Empress has the Hebrew letter Dalet, which means door. The doorway to fertility and birth, the mother. And Dalet connects the Sephirot on the Tree of Life between Chokmah and Binah. These are the father and the mother on the Kabbalistic Tree of Life. So it's strange that the mother, fertility, also associated with Venus, the Hebrew letter Dalet is Venus, connects the father and the mother. The High Priestess is ascribed to the moon, and this is given the Hebrew letter Gimel. Now, if you're familiar with the Qabalah and the Kabbalistic Tree of Life, then you'll understand where I'm coming from. If you understand about the Kabbalistic Tree of Life, the High Priestess card is Gimel, which connects Keter to Tiferet. And this crosses what is known as the abyss in the Kabbalistic Tree of Life. Now, Gimel is a camel in Hebrew. It crosses the abyss. You'll notice the High Priestess sits in between two pillars in the Rider-Waite deck. Behind her is a veil. This is Paroket. Now, the veil is used in the Holy of Holies in King Solomon's temple to screen off the Holy of Holies from the rest of the temple. Today in the modern synagogue, it is called a paroket, which covers what symbolizes the Ark of the Covenant in a synagogue, which has the Torah scrolls. So you have this veil behind her. There's a deep meaning there. That veil in the High Priestess card is not an accident. And yet the abyss, this gulf that exists between the lower Sephirot and the supernals on the Tree of Life, this is seen as something that this is a gap which exists between our everyday consciousness and the divine consciousness. And this is the Qabalah. Now, is it a coincidence that the tarot cards match up with this symbolism? Is it a coincidence? Who knows? You know, and then what's the next card after the Empress, the earthly mother, is the Emperor, the masculine father. So it's funny how the successive cards seems to have a contrast. Then again, maybe it's just my imagination, but there seems to be a deeper meaning there. Now, an archetype is a certain pattern. We all have different aspects of our personality. For example, we all have that part of us that could be the Fool. We all have an inner masculine, inner feminine. And you'll notice how the different trump cards in the major arcana represent these different aspects of our psyche. So in tarot meditation, this is used to bring forth a certain aspect of our own minds. What do I mean by that? Well, the hermit represents a wise old man. the Hermit card. And this idea of this wise old man, this hermit, brings up images that we see in movies. Archetypes are found in our mythologies, they're found in our storytelling. Certain patterns, which also have to do with different forces of our own psyche. For example, the hermit is found, in Lord of the Rings you have Gandalf. You have Obi-Wan Kenobi in Star Wars. Even in our stories, these certain patterns repeat. Now, tarot meditation, normally, tarot is not just for divination. It's also used for self-transformation. If you meditate on a certain card, that symbolism in the card brings forth a certain aspect of your own psyche, if that makes sense. So, for example, if you're a man and you want to connect to your inner feminine, you may meditate on the Empress card. If you want to focus on wisdom, you'll meditate on the Hermit. If you want to be more assertive, more aggressive, then you may meditate on the Emperor. So meditating on a specific card, that symbolism is used to bring forth that certain part of your psyche. Now, some people believe in this, some don't. I've used this a lot and I found it to be useful. So, whatever a card represents, if you meditate on this card, it could be used to bring that forth from your psyche. So we all have different aspects of our personality. Focusing on an archetypal image could be used to evoke that own part of yourself, if that makes sense. Tarot meditation, usually what you'll do is you'll look at the card and look at all the details. And then you'll close your eyes and visualize this image in all its details, all its colors, and hold this image in your mind. Take some deep breaths, visualize as vividly as possible the symbolism, and then you release it. So you're putting a symbol in your mind and then releasing it. And this is a way that tarot is sometimes used for self-transformation. Focusing on an image of mother brings forth the mother within you. Focusing on an image of the lovers. Focusing on an image of whatever image you use in the tarot, focusing on that image is said to bring that forth from your psyche. If you try to do it for that, I'm not saying you're just going to look at the Magician card and suddenly, by accident, but if you try to, some people use this to bring forth something within themselves by focusing or meditating on an image. So if you want to be more assertive, you'll focus on the Emperor card. Some people believe that there is a deeper hidden knowledge in the cards. So some people believe that there is an occult secret teaching in the cards. The word occult means hidden. There is a secret teaching that has trickled down. Now, some people believe in the whole Book of Thoth, that the tarot cards go back to ancient Egypt. I don't agree with that, but modern occultists have put occult symbolism in the cards, in my opinion. The writer Waite, A.E. Waite, who was one of the founders of the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn, put lots of occult symbolism. You cannot debate. The Chariot card, the white and black horse, looks just like Plato's chariot allegory for the soul. So that's interesting. There does seem or appear to be a deeper occult knowledge hidden in the cards. Now, have we unlocked all that hidden symbolism? Is there something locked within the cards that we haven't discovered? These are important ideas to consider, or I believe them to be. One of the first people to ascribe the 22 letters of the Hebrew alphabet and the Qabalah to the 22 major arcana cards was Eliphas Levi. Eliphas Levi, who wrote his book on transcendental magic, its dogma and ritual. Eliphas Levi believed himself to discover a secret. Eliphas Levi discovered a secret in magic, the secret for creation, which he called the astral light. The astral light is a force that he believed to be present everywhere, and if you can gain control of the astral light and bring it under will, then you have the power to create. And he symbolized this by Baphomet. Baphomet is this painting that he made. There are certain hidden symbolism. Symbols have the ability to give hidden meanings that consciously we're not picking up. If you just explain something in words, you understand. But if you hide something in symbols, then you actually have to decode it. So it's interesting. The occult philosophy of the tarot. I will be going a little deeper into this and how the tarot could be used for more than divination. It could be used as a teaching tool. It could be used as a form of meditation. It could also be used as a tool for self-transformation in occult psychology. And it's also often used in magic. Magic often uses symbolism, color symbolism, the appropriate stones, herbs, metals, the proper astrological timing, so that different cards could be used. For example, if you're casting a love spell, you may use the Lover's card as an extra symbol of your desire. And this is used to focus the will or whatever you're trying to do. Now, we'll be going deeper into the hidden occult philosophy. So anyways, that's just a brief look at the hidden occult meaning and the different ways that tarot could be used. Thank you for joining me, and once again, this is Taliesin McKnight, and see you guys next time.